sees all this, right? He comes out and says, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. A new party based on weak and stupid people? Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. So, first of all, let's just say, homie is washed up with the nicknames and the cutesy little insults he does. Panicking? Don't be panicking. Like, what the... Okay, all right, but this is his way of saying, yeah, you guys, everybody who's begging me and pleading me to reverse this, I'm not fucking reversing this. Fuck off. Guys, any other president, if they see the market day after day for 2, 3, 4 days straight continuously plummet and fall off a cliff, any other president will put aside whatever the fuck they're doing, try to calm the fears, and try to get everything back on track. Not this guy. As the market was tanking the other day, he literally went to Mar-a-Lago to be at a Saudi Arabian live golf event, and then he played in his club championship, and afterwards talked about how low his handicap is and how well he hit it. We're living in fucking the Twilight Zone here. That's what's going on. We're living in the Twilight Zone, or Black Mirror, actually, is another good example. So just to show you what we're looking at, U.S. markets just opened up not that long ago, absolutely plummeted, just total collapse. Now, at the same time, last night, when other markets were open, what happened? Well, you see the lines in front of you. Look at this. Look at this. This is something, like, if you were to script this, people would be like, nah, come on, man. That's too crazy. That wouldn't happen. Nah, it happened, and it is happening at the moment. Talking about 10% dives or more in many countries. 8, 10, 12. Look at it. Look at what it looks like. Look at what it looks like. Because this just, okay, this massively impacts the U.S., of course, but it also impacts the global economy. He's on a whim trying to rework global trade relations and sparking a massive trade war. And by the way, he's doing that at the same time he's refusing to do industrial policy here at home. He's doing austerity, no industrial policy, which means what? We're not going to actually fund the factories and the companies that we would need to do well here. And so it's just raising prices of everything, no plan to actually bring companies back here, and screwing over the entire global trade network. And we are in for some colossal pain. Look at this. This is the first time ever the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell more than 1,500 points on back-to-back days. And ladies and gentlemen, that might end up being back-to-back-to-back days. And who knows how far out this is going to be the case. Who knows how many days we can keep this bitch up. But it ain't looking good. We're looking at potentially a greater depression. And look, if you guys watch this show, you've known for a while, oh yeah, we're in for some turbulent-ass times, because I've been warning you. We did a segment the other day titled The Death of the American Economy, where I laid it out for you in excruciating detail. But now it looks like it's all coming to fruition, and I'm not happy about that by any stretch of the imagination. Trump is now officially worse for the markets than 9/11. So here's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is from the other day. Down nearly 10 percentage points in the past month. We're talking about losing 10 trillion in market capitalization and rising. Ready? This was an old list of single-day drops for the S&P 500. This is an old list. We had the dot-com crash. They lost 5.8%. September 11th, lost 4.9%. Global financial crisis, lost 9%. U.S. credit downgrade, lost 6.7%. COVID, lost 12%. Trump tariffs, lost 4.8%. This is from the other day. We are already surpassing many of the things that were above Trump on this list. Every last bit of this, ladies and gentlemen, is completely and utterly self-inflicted. None of this had to happen. And by the way, everybody knows it. We're going to do a segment either later today or tomorrow about people who are hardcore card-carrying Republicans who are now like, I'm a Democrat now. I'm never voting for a Republican again. It's happening. It's happening right in front of our faces. All right, more. A quick thread of charts showing how Trump's economic agenda is going so far. Trump had the same impact on economic uncertainty as a global pandemic. Look at this. Trump has plunged the economy into chaos. This is the economic uncertainty index. It spiked during the global pandemic. It has now surpassed it under Donald Trump's tariffs. More. Look at this one. More. Look at this one. U.S. consumers are rapidly souring on Trump's economic plan. Already in recession territory. Hold your breath, because we might be going deeper into depression territory. Expect business conditions to worsen over the next year. Absolutely skyrocket. Skyrocket. Worse than any time in our lifetimes. This goes all the way back to 1985. Boom. Look how much that skyrocketed. More, people are very, very worried about job losses. Expect unemployment to rise next year. This speaks for itself, right? And that 100% is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. Just 25% of U.S. adults say they expect their finances to look better in 5 years than today. That's lower even than at the nadir of the Great Depression. Or excuse me, recession, the Great Recession, 2008 Great Recession. This is what people are thinking right now, and people are correct to be thinking this. Expected inflation rate absolutely skyrockets. These charts go on. Have heard unfavorable business news coverage of government skyrocketed. The list goes on. We don't even need to go through all these charts. You see the bottom line. This is all from the Financial Times, by the way. All right, let me give you more. At the same time, the market is in total free fall. The White House released a statement. This is on April 4th, okay? Week 11 wins. President Trump unleashes economic prosperity. It was another highly successful week for the American people as President Donald J. Trump continues his relentless pursuit of strength, prosperity, and peace and lays the foundation for America to be the global powerhouse for generations to come. I told you guys this before. I need to repeat it. This is the first postmodernist president we've had in our lifetimes. A postmodernist president is defined by somebody who doesn't believe in an actual empirical objective truth, an empirical objective reality. He's a subjectivist. So he believes my truth overrides the truth, which is why he can have countless economic experts around him saying, sir, these tariffs make no sense. Sir, these are actually insane. Sir, these are crashing the global economy. Sir, this is not going to work out. Sir, this is going to tank your legacy. He's like, no, I'm right. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Short-term pain, long-term gain. So this truly, that's what we're looking at here. The fact that he released this in the midst of a market collapse says there is no connection to reality. Trump is both evil and nefarious. That's true. And he has corrupt plans, but he's also stupid. Like, he's also immensely stupid. And you're seeing all of that come out now, and people are starting to realize it. All right, more. Here we go. So we got a CNN segment here talking about how Donald Trump inherited a bull market. A bull market. And what did he do with it? Well, you already know, but let's watch.
S&P 500 drops of 5% or more at this point in a presidency. There are only two of them, right? There's Donald Trump, a 10% drop since he took office. The only one that matches it or exceeds it was George W. Bush back in 2001, a drop of 18%. This is it. This is the whole kit and caboodle since the S&P 500 was created as an index back in 1957. When you're one of two and we're talking about drops in the stock market, All
right. Well, what makes this presidential plunge different than all other presidential plunges, except for the fact that we reclined at this plunge?
Exactly right. We're right on the eve of Passover, so why not go with that? Again, we're going to look at these drops of 5% plus. What is so different about this versus the Bush plunge? Remember, it was the dot-com bubble, right? That was happening before George W. Bush took office. What did Donald Trump inherit? He inherited a bull market from Joe Biden. Donald Trump is the only one to take a bull market and turn it into a bear market to such a degree that we're having a drop of 5% or more at this point. This is historically unprecedented. What Donald Trump, one man, it seems to me, has done to perhaps my favorite stock market index.
Guys, and it has to be pointed out, there's a video now going viral of Kamala when she did her press tour during the campaign. She repeated time and time again, all these economic experts are warning us. They're telling us if Donald Trump implements his plans or anything close to his plans, we're talking about a recession by the middle of next year. We're talking about a recession by the summer. No notes. No notes. That speaks for itself. There's a reason that's going viral again.
My economic mentor, my mentor in all things, Christine Romans, used to say, yeah, but, Wall Street is not necessarily Main Street. How has that sort of changed?
I mean,
it has changed, and he'll get to that in a second. But let me point out, the way it works with the stock market, when it booms, they privatize the profits. When it goes down, they socialize the losses. When the market does well, it's great for the wealthy, not necessarily the best thing for the 99%. But when the market goes down, like I said, they socialize the losses. So what that means is prices will skyrocket, people will be laid off, and people will lose their 401ks. So it's a rigged system by its very nature, because when the stock market booms, the wealthy do phenomenally well, and everybody else just sort of skates by or stagnates, right? But now that it goes down, the pain is widespread. So it's not the idea. You see a lot of MAGA people saying this now, the diehards. They're out there acting like, well, what happened? I thought the left was against the billionaires and the millionaires, bro. And so why wouldn't you be happy about the market absolutely imploding? Because it's not just going to hurt them, you fucking idiots. Oh my God. You can tell they're just trying to get cheap gotchas. They don't even believe in what they're saying.